Another day, another recording. Today I'll be pretty much going down, deducing the stuff that I've been going over in regards to chapter 13. Yeah, I'll pretty much be discussing and talking about it. Yeah, that's what I'll be talking about. So yeah, let's get it and let's go. Okay, so in our HTML, I go doc type HTML language. So in our HTML, what you're gonna do is you're gonna press Shift exclamation mark and Enter. Then what's gonna happen is this section of our HTML is gonna be generated. The section that have been highlighted besides the div elements, headings, and BR, closing tags and opening tags, be displayed. As soon as you press Shift exclamation mark then Enter. So what's gonna happen is within the body you're gonna have a div ID called list page, right? So what that does is it's gonna give you a list. It's gonna help us when you're trying to put functionality into our list page, right? So it's gonna help give us some functionality when you're working out Java. Then class equals print. H1 my wish list, H1 div ID form area equal what I want, input type text ID I want, button type button ID added. So we got a div ID. The ID is for our Java when you add functionality to it. H1 my wish list, right? Div ID form area, label what I want, input type text, ID I want, label button type, ID added. Then the part that I've just highlighted is the part that's going to be displayed. So the added button is going to be displayed, right? BR, button type button, ID printable, print your list. So the print your list part, right? That's going to be displayed there. Right, div UL ID wish list div. So this part, the div elements and etc. Text I want and etc. All of that is gonna give us what we have here. This is what's gonna give us, So yeah, that's what's gonna give us, man. And then yeah. So that's that, man. So that's for our HTML. Then for our wish list.j wait, hold on. Sorry now. And then for our wishlist.js, in order for us to get a gap between my wish list for what I want, what my wife wants, for us to get the white gap in between these two, the white gap that you see here, what I did was I added BR, opening and closing tags for those. Yeah, that's what I did. In order for us to actually aesthetically, pretty much increase the ergonomics for HTML via CSS, what I did was I took href, right? I put in meta HTTP equip. I did that, and then also the link relation style sheet href wishlist.css. That's what I did, man, in order to make my thing better, And then I did script source JS, right? To pretty much add a functionality to the div IDs and elements that have got my body. Just add functionality to those, So that's what I did. and then doc type HTML lang English head. So what I did was I did title, wish list, link relation, style sheet, href, wish list CSS head. It's pretty much the same thing as I had before, except for my div IDs, headings and labels. The labels that I'm referring to aren't just gonna be what I want, but what I want and what another person wants, as you can see here. Then you got your edits, and then except you got what another person wants. So that's for my HTML. Same thing here. The switch source that I'm referring to at this time, those which is try to control it. Alright, so let's print button document that get element by ID principal, print button ID event list, now click print view, let add button. So I created a local variable for my printing button, right? So what let does is it makes it local, so this variable can only work within the code and nowhere else. So dot get elements by ID principal print button dot ID event listener click print view. So what this does is, as soon as I press the print button, right? So document is referring to the HTML, get element by ID is referring to the ID within the HTML that I'm referring to, which is principal, right? And then print button, add event listener, click print view. So my event listener, so it listens for an event, right? So every time I click once, and again, event listener, just click, and then what that click does, it gives us a print view. The print view is something that you'll see, so as soon as you print your list, give us a print view, let my list equals brackets, let my list area get element of ID. So what happens is what these empty brackets does is allows us to insert an infinite amount of data into our into the list that we're gonna make in our web page. So you gotta let my list area document get element ID, document HTML get element ID. You get our elements via ID, right? So that's what happens. You got a wish list function, add the thing, let the thing document get element ID. Document, first HTML get element ID. Get ID, referring to ID, right? Referring to ID within the document. Add to the list the thing, you set input the thing, function. So what happens is it gives a function, right? It helps give a function, right? It helps gives a function to what we've got here, which is add thing, which is I want, what I want. So I want, right, refers to like the added button, right? refers to the edit button. That's what it refers to. So every time you press the edit button, you'll be adding to the list, and then then every time you press the reset button, the circular wheel with the arrow, at the end, is gonna reset the input. Then a function adds the list, right? So it's gonna create an element, right, which is a list, my list push. So what this does is it takes the element that you're adding via the input that you got in your placeholder, and then it adds that element to the page that you can see now. So that's what it's referring to. This is what's referring to. Append the child, new list item, reset input to reset. So every time you press circular wheel by the arrows, you're gonna be able to reset the input function print view. So this is giving functionality to our print view. And wish list, form area, style display, none, this page, that class name. So this is our area. Then for a for loop, let index equals 0. Right, so setting everything to our first element, first placing. And if indexing is like less than my list dot length, right? And then the I refers to incrementation of value. So you're able to like increment the value. So if my list at length is less than, then the wish list at HTML will be I plus my list, right? So the plus equal meaning you won't change the already existing value, but you add onto that value. Then window.print. So the prompt where you got where you want to print a page, and you got that window view, or that print view where you got a window that print, right? You'd be able to be prompted via, this execution key that you've got here. Then let printable button document get element ID printable. But the print button that, so same thing here, except this is the JavaScript functionality from our wish list, the one that we've got here. It's pretty much the same thing, copy and paste. Same thing, except they got different names for like the variables, different variable names, etc. So the variable names are different, man. So let's go to our CSS. So we pretty much got a full stack relationship between our JS and our HTML. It's pretty much like a full stack. So list page.print. Body, this page.print, this page.print, this page.print. Body. So this is pretty much the CSS, for the stuff that you got on a web page. What CSS does, it takes our front end and increase the quality of the ergonomics or the looks of our front end. So that's what CSS does. As you can see here, we got like this page print, we got this and that, we pretty much we have what we have, So yeah, so you've got, and then yeah, so let's see the execution of this. So while I want my wish list book, new computer, word, like another computer. I'm joking. Okay, so you know, I don't want. What do I actually want? You know, uh, bar barbells. Yeah, then print my list.
You didn't add your barbell.
Yeah, what did you say?
You didn't add your barbell. You just
My?
bought. That's why it's not showing.
I
Your
didn't add.
last, the last item.
Uh, I know, no, I'm aware of that. With that, I just want to show you.
Okay.
Slowly preview.
Okay.
Yeah, book, card, dumbbells, new list. So that's pretty much the functionality. It's the same thing here. You know, it's just just that the problem that I've got there is the fact that for some reason seems to be a problem with the code that I've got in my JS. Otherwise, hopefully you actually got like the gist, in regard to like what I did there. Then refresh. Then as you can see, as soon as I refresh, everything goes back to its reset value. So the list that we had gets reset. Then what I want, this part gets reset as well. So yeah, all of that gets reset. So yeah, that's pretty much what I want to actually just talk about, man.
Okay. I understood it well.
Thank you.
Thanks for the demo.
You're welcome, Jane. You're welcome. Plain Jane.